Meeting will now come to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, honorable city council members, chief of staff, our city attorney, our deputy treasurer, administrative staff, and to those who are in the audience and those who are viewing tonight's broadcast via our broadcast channel and YouTube Live. Welcome to the City of Romulus City Council regular meeting, and today's date is Monday, November 13th, 2023. Members of the public wishing to participate in this meeting may do so under the public comment portion of the agenda. Please fill out a request to speak public comment card located on the back of the chambers and hand it to the deputy clerk. At this time, we will have roll call. Councilwoman Abdo.
Here.
Councilman Barden.
Here.
And Councilwoman Roscoe.
Excuse.
So noted. Councilwoman Talley.
Here.
Councilman Wadsworth.
Here.
And we know Councilwoman Webb, excused.
Excuse.
And Councilwoman Williams.
Here.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you.
Tonight on our agenda, Mr. Chair, we're asking that council approve an amended agenda. The amended agenda is that we're adding, under the clerk's report, agenda item 6E. That's the amendment to the agenda.
So moved to approve the amended agenda. Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Talley, to approve the amended agenda as presented. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Thank you, council. Number 2, minutes. We're requesting approval of the minutes from the regular meeting held on Monday, November 6, 2023.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to move that we approve the council minutes from the regular council meeting that was held on Monday, November 6th.
Support.
Motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Talley, for approval of the minutes from our regular meeting held on Monday, November the 6th at 7:30. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion is approved.
Thank you. There are no petitioners on the agenda. It takes us to number 4, the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. First of all, there was no special meeting tonight, and the clerk has, the chairman has no report tonight.
Okay. So moved to accept your report, Mr.
Support.
Chair.
It's been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, for approval of the chairperson's report. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, thank you.
Thank you, council. Number 5 is the mayor's report, and presenting the mayor's report this evening is our chief of staff, Julie Waitoko.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Good evening, City Council, and to our audience and listening audience at home. I don't have any action items under the mayor's report this evening. In just a moment, I'll have Mike share the video with some upcoming events, but I did want to provide just a few updates. There were some items that came up under public discussion last week during the council meeting, and just wanted to do a quick review on those if I could with you this evening. There's been some concerns recently regarding some no parking signs that were installed in an area on Dexter Street in one of our subdivisions. And so they are reviewing that right now. There are some, legal statutes and some laws and things. Obviously our role here is always to do what's best for our residents and try to protect our community. So I promise council we'll get back to you with an update, but the mayor had sent some directives out to do some additional checking, understanding that, that neighborhood's been there for a long time, and any change is not always a good change, and so we want to make sure that we get back with a complete report on that for council and also for the residents. We did receive some inquiries, kind of a a list of residents. We've had some phone calls in support and against, and so we will get back to you on that. Also, the issue that's been raised previously regarding the trees off of Middle Belt Road in that subdivision area that's kind of impacted. Our latest, attempt has been to try to work through with Wayne County, and then we've also now reached out to DTE to see if there's any assistance there. I don't think anybody disputes that that's a concern, but it also apparently would be a hardship on that property owner, so we're trying to see if there's any other avenues available. So we will keep you updated on that. And, a common topic in here, I think, nationally, and of course here in Romulus, has just been speeding. And we have been looking at some various areas for some other traffic calming options. Again, that comes with a cost and also with a change, to those who are used to it in the area. So we are looking into that. And there were some other areas that had already been identified. And I know they had mentioned about bringing the speed trailer and such out in that area. Anywhere seems to be in the kind of Beverly Road area, we've had a lot of concerns. So I think you'll see some things coming forward from our DPW director and also from our chief of police as it relates to those matters. So again, we'll provide a full update. I just wanted to let you know that it hasn't been unheard or forgotten. We are working on it. And as soon as we have something available, we'll get back to you on that as well. At this point then, again, I will ask that Mike share our upcoming events video from Vanessa Tolliver from our office.
All right.
Hello, I'm Vanessa Tolliver, and here are some events happening in Romulus. Romulus Ministry Alliance invites everyone to a community Thanksgiving service on Wednesday, November 15th, beginning at 6 p.m. at the Pentecost Baptist Church, located at 35265 Vinewood Street. Come join us as we trot through downtown Romulus on November 17th from Artesian Reserve to Walters Bar for the 6th annual Gobble Wobble Turkey Trot. Check in at 5 p.m. and trotting will begin at 5:30. There's plenty of parking available at Walters Bar with shuttle services from there to the Artesian Reserve. Holiday turkey attire is encouraged. Proceeds benefit Romulus Goodfellows. On Friday, November 24th, come out for the holiday train and candy canes in our district as we celebrate the official city Christmas tree lighting and viewing of the CPKC holiday train. The event will begin at 7 p.m. at the Romulus Historic Park with vendors and concessions. Santa will arrive during the event and Mayor McCray will present him with the key to the city. A special helper will then help flip the switch and light the tree. Stay with us following the tree lighting for a number of activities while we await the Canadian Pacific Holiday Train to pass through Romulus. There will be holiday vendors, crafts, live entertainment, pictures with Santa, activities for the kids, food trucks, and more. The train is anticipated to arrive between 8 p.m. and 12 a.m. The Romulus Recreation Department is hosting Brunch with Santa on Saturday, December 2nd at the Romulus Senior Center. The cost is $12 per child and includes brunch, story time, photo with Santa, and special holiday craft. Adults may also enjoy brunch for $5 each. Tickets may be purchased at the Recreation Department at the Romulus Athletic Center or online at romulusgov.com by Monday, November 27th. Or call 734-941-8665 for more information. The Romulus Rotary is accepting donations for new or gently used coats and other cold weather items for kids. Donations are being accepted at 6 locations around Romulus until December 12th. City Hall and the Romulus Library are among the drop-off locations. All items received will be sorted and distributed to schools in Romulus. Youth sizes preferred. This year, Romulus will once again participate in Reefs Across America. The ceremony will take place on Saturday, December 16th at 12 p.m. at the Romulus Memorial Cemetery. Please help support Private James D. Donovan, Romulus VFW Post 78, and reach our goals by sponsoring a wreath to honor every veteran in our cemetery. You can purchase a wreath online by November 28th by visiting reefsacrossamerica.org. Choose local sponsorship group and search Romulus VFW. Or you can donate in person by visiting the Romulus Mayor's office at 11111 Wayne Road. Thanks Thanks, everyone, and remember to like and share us on Facebook or YouTube, and visit our website for more information. Have a great night.
And thank you, Vanessa. We have lots of exciting events coming up here in the city of Romulus, and with that, that will conclude the mayor's report this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief of Staff.
Number 6 is the clerk's report. I have 5 action items. The first action item under 6A for second reading and final adoption to amendments to Chapter 36, Section 36-360 of the Romulus Code of Ordinances. Brandishing firearm in public, applicability violation as a misdemeanor, penalty. And this, this was first introduced at the meeting of November 6, 2023.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I'll make that motion for second reading and final adoption to amendments to Chapter 36, Section 36-360 of the Romulus Code of Ordinances.
Need a support.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, second reading and final adoption of amendment to Chapter 36, Section 36-360 of the Romulus Code of Ordinance. Any other discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Talley.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, Council. 6B, also for second reading and final adoption, is the amendments to Chapter 58, Section 58-30, distracted driving of the Romulus Code of Ordinances. And this ordinance amendment was introduced at the November 6, 2023 council meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to move that we approve second reading and final adoption to the amendments of Chapter 58, Section 58 to 50 of the Romulus Code of Ordinance, and it deals with distracted driving.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for second reading and final adoption of amendments to Chapter 58, Section 58-50 of the Romulus Code of Ordinance. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. 6C, for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 2324-8 in the amount of $10,000 to recognize donations for the tree lighting and holiday train event and corresponding expenditures.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Ms. Abdo.
I'll make that motion for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 23/24-8 for the tree lighting and other events. To recognize.
Been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Talley, for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 23/24-8. In discussion. Hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, Council. 6D, this is a public hearing request. In accordance with Chapter 14, Section 14.2 of the Romulus City Charter, it is requested that council deem it advisable to consider the vacation of the east-west alley south of Ecorse Road between Craig Avenue and Elmview Avenue, and to schedule a public hearing on Monday, December the 11th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. to hear public input on the said alley vacation. Please note a public hearing for another alley vacation is scheduled for Monday, December the 11th, 2023 at 7:00 p.m. So you will have two, if you approve this request, there will be two public hearings on that same day.
Through the chair,
Ms. Tally?
I'd like to make the motion for the public hearing request for Monday, December 11th on 2023.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Tally, supported by Ms. Abdo, for a public hearing request for Monday, December 11th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. And the last action item under my report, 6E. This is an amendment, requesting an amendment to a resolution. It is requested that council amend their November 6, 2023 resolution reappointing Maria Lambert, Julie Waitoko, Cynthia Kellerman, Ellen Craig Bragg, Lynn Conway, Ann Lammers, and David Piskowski to the Romulus Arts Council Commission, with all terms to expire on November 11, 2025. Basically, council, last week, you voted to, it just stated Romulus Arts Council, but it should be Romulus Arts Council Commission. So the word commission was left off of your motion from last week. So that's all you're doing, is just adding the word commission to the title there. And this would just be an amendment, an amended resolution to correct that.
Need a motion?
Through the chair,
Yes, Ms.
I'd
Tally?
like to make that motion for the amended resolution for the Romulus Arts Council Commission.
Support.
Been motion by Ms. Tally, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, for amended resolution, Romulus Arts Council Commission. Any discussion?
Yes, John.
Ms. Williams?
Yes, I would like to ask the city attorney, can you get the information to me or to us as a council? I know with some cities, some commissions have to be voted in by the people, so per our charter, can you let me know or let us know what commissions is stated that has to be voted in by the people and not just appointed?
Sure. What's in the charter as to what commissions have to be?
Okay.
I can do that, sure.
Well, I noticed we have a police fire safety commission, and I know with other cities they're elected to that position. So I just want to make sure that we're following the same protocol. Thank you.
Okay. If there's no other discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Thank you, City Council. That concludes the clerk's report. Number 7 would be the treasurer's report, and there is no report. There is no treasurer's report, and it takes us to number 8, public comment. And this is the portion of the agenda for those who are in the audience and who would like to address the City Council. The rules to address council can be found on the back of the meeting agenda. If you would like to address the City Council, please raise your hand, and after being acknowledged by the chairperson, approach the podium and state your name. Please note that members of the public who submitted a public comment card will be called upon first. You will have 3 minutes to speak, and any additional time will be upon the consent of the chairperson. Mr. Chair and Council, we do have one written request,
Okay,
and this is from Eleanor Howard.
okay.
Ms. Howard,
Ms.
can you
Howard.
take the podium, please?
Good evening. I'm here again about these no parking signs on Dexter. When I was here last Monday, I brought it to your attention that we have no parking, and I need to know, or our block needs to know, what has changed in 22 years that we have no parking on our street. I have some photos from different blocks. As I said, there were 150 new homes built in 1999. We have never had no parking on this street, and now all of a sudden there's a concern. I know that there is a, I can send a request to find out who actually made this phone call, but I have to wait 5 days to know. That's nonsense to me. Also, last week when I was here, the mayor said he would get back with me. I have not got a phone call to find out, except tonight, the young lady said that they're looking into it. When I was here Monday, it was just a temporary sign. Tuesday morning, I get up and it's a permanent sign up. What's going on, guys? Somebody got an answer for me? And would you like to see the pictures? Because it's at least 10 blocks where there are signs, where there are no signs up for no parking. Most of the streets are like mine, where you come down and you do a curb, so it's not for snow removal. It's not for the mailboxes. So half our block is here tonight. We need to know what's going on.
John?
Mr. Wadsworth and then Ms. Williams.
I'll tell you what probably happened. Somebody that works in this, in the city probably went up and down the street and thought it would be a good idea to put no parking signs there. Not that it was, but that's what's happened, you know.
But would you think they
and I'm
would-
sure they're going to find out why.
Would you think they would have notified us?
Well,
They notify us about everything else.
I don't see well.
No notification that it's being done. It's just done.
I took a ride on your street about 4 days ago, and I seen it. I couldn't understand why
don't
you
understand
can't park
why.
there.
Thank you for at least going to take a look. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Ms. Williams?
And Mrs. Howard, I've definitely been talking back and forth with the mayor and the mayor's chief of staff, and I did inform the mayor and the chief of staff. When I came to Romulus in 1970, early 1970s, those homes, even before those Romulus housing and some of the homes was already there, even before the new homes came up. And it's never been no parking unless it was on the fire hydrant side.
That's correct.
And so I went with Ms. Wade, and we looked, and throughout the entire subdivision, and that's what I shared with the mayor's chief of staff earlier today, throughout that entire subdivision, you have streets with no signs are up saying no parking. And it's very difficult to allow builders to come in, and this was way back in the day, to start building a subdivision and the road is so wide, but then come back 20, 30 years and say, nope, the road is too narrow, so no parking. The mayor, chief of staff, and the mayor have also promised that they were looking into it and finding out why were those signs installed the very next day. And thank you for coming, but I definitely informed the mayor about your concerns, and I told him that as we went through that entire subdivision, or that entire north end, no other streets, and what was strange about it, Ms. Watoka, is that on the south end of Dexter, before the blacktop, they call it something else, but before the blacktop, that's where the no parking signs is. But then when you get on the north side of the blacktop, no signs. So you can't penalize, and I'm not saying you guys are being penalized, but, you know, I'm sure as soon as the mayor and the DPW director look into this and see who put those signs up, why they were put up, I'm sure action will be taken, because you can't have signs on the south side but not on the north side of there. And because of the driveways are not that long, for you to have company, you know, because I have family down there, and for you to have company during the holidays, where are they going to park?
Yeah. And the majority of us are seniors, and when our families come, Thanksgiving's next week. So where do our families park? Around the corner and walk around to our homes? That's not a very good thing. I think whoever did it didn't think about what it's going to cost the community, especially us, what it's going to cost us. Does anybody want to see these pictures, or are we good?
Yeah, you can pass them to the clerk. And the bottom line is, let's get the job settled. Let's get it done.
Yes.
Yeah,
Please.
and I think the administration will work on that and solve that problem. You know, I think we should get it done, yeah.
Through the chair.
Yes, Ms.
And
Talley.
me and Julie talked earlier today, and I thank you for, and I know you guys are doing your due diligence on this and continuing to do your due diligence. But in regards to her question, do you know what could have possibly changed in 22 years after all this time? I know you're still doing your due diligence. I know.
So I don't want to speculate.
Okay.
You know, I guess what I would say is what was done 22 years ago maybe wasn't correct to begin with.
Okay.
You know, but I can't say for sure. I don't
Okay.
know, I don't know if they were looking at Dexter Street as one of many streets over there that needed to be reviewed, but, you know, obviously you've brought it to our attention and the concerns, so I can promise you before they do anything else, we're going to make sure we have this correct one way or the
Right.
other.
Right.
You know, I know sometimes with the mail service and other things, there's other requirements, so we are digging into it. I did go back through some paperwork this afternoon that I found, and I believe there was a temporary signage put out there with the request to get the permanent sign, so unfortunately, the timing was just horrible from you coming in Monday and those going in on Tuesday. I wish we could have stopped that. So, as the mayor had assured you, we are looking into it. And, you know, we definitely will get back with a full report to council, and also we'll be updating the residents, so.
I just have one more thing to say. Since Thanksgiving is next Thursday, and I'm sure you're not going to act on it before Thursday, can I put plastic bags over those signs so we can park on our side of the street for the holiday?
Well, hopefully we can have an
Well, I wouldn't recommend that you do that, but
Ms.
I will,
Williams?
we'll be looking into it and see what we can do.
Okay.
Ms. Williams?
One thing I do know, and I know I'm familiar with a lot of the residents in that area, you have a contractor that lives on that street.
Yes, we do.
And what he was doing was parking commercial vehicles. And that's definitely a no-no in a residential area. And I'm not talking about like a pickup truck. I'm talking about big, heavy tractors and commercial
That is
vehicles.
correct.
And so he can be a little bit beside himself sometime. And so with the complaints of the residents on the side where it should have been no parking signs, which is on the fire hydrant side. So then he got upset, and I spoke with him, and he got upset. And so now he don't want no parking on either side. And it can't be a decision of one resident because he can't park his commercial vehicles. He needs to be informed, not just now, but moving forward, that he cannot park none of those commercial vehicles on no street, whether it be 4th Street where his father lived or whether it be on Dexter. But, you know, as she said, Thanksgiving is coming, and I'm sure, I can truly say, the mayor's chief of staff was off. He was enjoying her vacation last week, so she's trying to catch up with what's going on, and I've been on the phone back and forth with her, so I'm sure we will be able to get an answer soon.
Thank you.
And another thing, I'm very confident that the administration would look into this matter and solve the problem. I have very confidence in the administration. They always look into situations like this and get back with you and correct everything. So kudos to the administration. Thank you.
Thank you.
John, let me say this. And to the mayor, chief of staff, can you make sure once the decision is made, you can get Ms. Howard's number to make sure she's contacted?
Yes, and actually, I have Ms. Howard's phone number in my
Okay.
office, so I plan to call her actually tomorrow, so.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair and Council, that was the only written request.
Any other comments from the audience? Yes, we have one person. Come up to the podium, please. State your name and...
Hi, my name is Patrice, and I also live on Dexter Street. And my husband and I, we purchased a home there 8 years ago, and I have never seen a block that has absolutely no streetlights. That's my concern. I don't have small children, but there are small children. I'm a grandmother, and also my neighbor, they do have small grandkids coming over. And we are just asking, well, me personally, and I'm sure my neighbors are, we're asking for streetlights because if you go past the block, further down, there are streetlights. Our block is completely dark. We get no trick-or-treaters on our block because of no streetlights. We can have our porch lights on, but again, me, if I was a mother of a small child, I definitely would not let my child go down that block because we have no streetlights. That's a big concern for safety and also for single mothers, or I don't know if there's any single mothers on our block, but it's a concern for safety for me, because we can't, my husband and I, we put up LED lights at all of our neighbors. We have our porch lights on, but we can't, it's just a concern. And, you know, the no parking is an issue, but my main issue is the no street lights, because again, we are residents there, and we do require safety from the city, because we are city taxpayers, and also like that, as well as homeowners.
Thank you. Chief of Staff, you have anything?
Yeah, and I can look into what the process would be. I know typically those are special assessments, so, but we can get that information. I'll just need to get your contact information before you leave tonight, okay?
Okay, perfect.
Okay, perfect, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Are there any other comments from the audience? If there's no other comments from the audience, my famous word to the clerk, we'll close that part out.
Number 9 is unfinished business.
John?
Mr. Wadsworth?
If I can to the administration, I got a couple calls today that at Wick and Wayne, that barricade there that said no commercial vehicles is gone, and the trucks were, and I was told they were going and going. I didn't get a chance to go back and look, but that's what, could someone check that?
Through the chair. Yeah.
Hold.
Okay.
Hold. Ms. Williams and then Ms. Abdo.
I would just like to say, I got calls about that too, and what happened is somebody came through and knocked it down, but Roberto got right out there, had someone to go right out there and set that back up.
Okay, fine.
So it is back up.
Good.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes, it was knocked down about 6:30 in the morning, because I got a call at like 7, and there were quite a few trucks going down Wick Road, but I spoke with the mayor, I think it was about 9 o'clock in the morning, and he was getting on it.
Okay, thank you.
John.
Ms. Williams?
And as I said before, you know, it's happening all over the city. It's just not on Wick Road. This evening, I made a call, well, the residents had called the police department and they hadn't got over here. 2 18-wheelers were coming through our subdivision. So what a car did, because they had just knocked her mailbox down, what she did is blocked him where he couldn't get through, so we can get the license plate, the name of the company, of the truck that he was driving, and we turned that information over to the police department. The police officer did come out, and we turned that information over to him. It's really wise, instead of just complaining, when you see them, if you can, get the picture, get the license plate, because those companies can be fined, and one ticket is $1,500. So, but you can't complain to think things are going to change if we're constantly letting them come through our subdivision. So it's just not Wick Road, it's just not Beverly Road. They're doing it everywhere, and hopefully the first of the year, if not sooner, Ecorse and Wayne Road will be open back up and the problem will lessen. But it's everywhere. Thank you, John.
Any other discussion? Okay?
Yeah, through the chair, I'm sorry, real quick.
Ms. Talley?
Ms. Howard, I see your concern. I see your concern. This is kind of crazy, but thank you for supplying the pictures.
Okay. Madam Clerk?
If there's no more unfinished business, new business. Number 11 for approval is warrant 23-21.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion, we pay warrant 23-21 in the following amounts. General Fund, $922,593.41. Major Street Fund, $43,274.69. Local Street Fund, $46,435.66. Public Safety Fund, $42,832.01. Cable TV, $4.25. Merriman Road Special Assessment, $8,586.08. Street Lighting Fund, $55,680.27. Michigan Defense Fund, $26,375. 9/11 Service Fund, $32,267.25. Law Enforcement Federal, $39,813.75. Library Fund, $26,989.03. DDA, $14,986.03. Tifa District 2, $1,228,505.03. CIP Bonds, the Court Building, $724,500. E-Course and Vining Capital Improvement Bonds, $928,412.50. Water and Sewer Fund, $1,049,291.77. Motor Vehicle, $42,705.81. Technology Services, $8,908.95. Retiree Insurance Benefits, $169,663.43. Revolving Fund, $99,053.25. General Tax Fund, $6,015. Current tax, $99,039.07. Payroll Fund, $263,616.79. Totaling all funds, $5,879,549.03.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Talley, to pay warrant number 23-21 for $5,879,549.03. Any discussion?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes, I had several calls pertaining to the amount of the warrant this week. And just to inform those callers that we had several bonds that we had to pay that was due. And the bonds were close to $1 million, if not over $1 million. And these are things that we have to pay when they're due. So I just wanted to make that clear. Thank you.
Thank you. If there's no other discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Thank you. Number 12 is communication.
Through the chair.
Yes, Ms. Talley?
A couple of things. We had an author talk this past Thursday, a great discussion, great turnout. Thanks for everybody that came out to the library last Thursday for author talk with 2 authors we had on site. It was a great turnout, great discussion. Everybody was engaged. A lot of great questions from the residents that was and people that were in attendance, and great, just a presentation from the author were there. So thank you to everybody that turned out. Thank you, Mr. Nara, for coming out, and so many other people that came out, the Friends of the Library. It was just a great turnout and a great time for author talk. So thank you, everybody, for coming out and supporting these 2 authors in their endeavors. Secondly, we're coming in on the Thanksgiving season, and it's always a great time to be thankful. We should always be thankful, but this is just a season for thankfulness. And we had a God wink moment here in the city. We had a train derailment, as we all know, a couple of weeks ago. But what I didn't know is that with that train derailment, I think I was told that there was 14 cars that came out the track. One on the track that stayed on the track had hazardous materials involved. And I said, what a God wink moment, because all the train derailments we've seen in the past couple of years had these toxic waste, but with the one car that stayed on the track in Romulus, stayed on the track, didn't come off, was a one with toxic waste. So I call that a God wink moment, and I am grateful for that we didn't have to deal with some of these other communities have had to deal with toxic waste and train derailments. So I just wanted to put that out there, that I'm thankful for that and for a lot of things. And so with that being said, we're having a Thanksgiving celebration this Wednesday at Reverend Willis Church, that's Pentecostal Baptist Church on Vinewood Street. If you want to come out, it's at 6 o'clock this Wednesday to start the celebration for Thanksgiving. We would love to see everybody out in attendance to celebrate Thanksgiving and to show our thankfulness. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Talley. Ms. Williams?
And just to speak on pertaining to the railroads, what we need to do, we as elected officials and also the residents, contact our state rep, our governor, our senators, because lately it's just been too many train wrecks. And so they need to spend, the state, the federal government, the county, They need to spend more money on these railroads to alleviate some of these wrecks, because it's just happening too often. And once it knock at our door, it's time for us to say something. We can't just complain. We have to write letters. We can even pass a resolution, send it to the state, letting the governor, the state senators, the state representatives know it's time for them to give Romulus more money. I mean, I think, and I've been saying this for years, with us having the only international airport in the entire state of Michigan, it is no reason why we're not getting more funding. You know, we look for the city to do a lot of the things, as the mayor chief of staff was saying earlier, looking for ways to kind of slow down the speeders. Look, we should have money just like the city of Detroit, city of Dearborn, Van Buren, Belleville, but we have to make sure they know we exist, and it appears at times they don't realize that we exist. Now, they come through here to go to the airport, and they should realize that we need just as much funding as they're giving to Detroit, to Flint, to Bloomfield Hill, and all the other communities. So I would say we as the elected officials here in the city, and even the residents, we need to start pounding the doors and ringing those phones off to get more money from the state and the federal government for our city, for our residents. And also, as usual, Forgotten Harvest will be tomorrow at the high school. We start the line 10:30. It depends on what's on the truck and how long it takes us to get it packed up. But we have to shut the line off at 12 o'clock because we have a certain time we have to be out of that parking lot in order for the buses to come and pick the kids up. McDonald's and Forgotten Harvest partnered, and they kind of did it backwards, but we're going to make it work anyway. Next Monday, they will be, McDonald's, if you know any family that is really in need of a turkey, that could use a turkey, next Monday we will be at McDonald's on Merriman, starting at 1:30, but you have to have a voucher. So please either contact the mayor's office or contact me. Once the vouchers are gone, they're gone. It's a sad thing that they came into our city and chose to do it that way, but they promised they will never do it again to disrespect, us as leaders of the city and our residents, because they only had 100 vouchers. And some of those vouchers went out to other residents from other communities, and that's why it's limited right now. So if you know of anyone that is in desperate need of help for Thanksgiving, please reach out. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to say that on the railroad tracks, crossing the railroad tracks, going to Comerica, if somebody, look, Bordeaux is really tough. I mean, you go there to really tear your car up. I don't know if anybody noticed that when you cross those tracks going to Comerica Bank. Man, I went there and I was doing like 3 miles an hour and almost tore my shocks out of my car. So if that can be looked into, they can just patch that up a little bit also. Another thing, I got a call from Doris Green. Anybody that can donate some turkeys, he's looking for, and I've seen, Ms. Williams said some turkeys for Forgotten Harvest. So if Green can get a hold of her or whatever, and that would be great. And another thing, y'all always know what I do at the end. Mr. Wadsworth, why are you looking at me like that? The mayor is not here. I want to get on him. Linda, Dave, put the thing on me. The Lions are in first place. Everybody know in Romulus, Miss Braggs, you know, because your husband always say Barton is with the Lions. Lions are #1 at this time, so I'm sticking with them. When they was 0-16, I was with them. So they're winning now. I don't care when you're down, I'm with you. If I got the faith in you, I'm with you when you're up too.
Amen.
Amen. Lions, go. Thank you. All I have to say.
communication from council. All right. Takes us to number 13, adjournment, and the time is 8:16.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Talley, for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, we are adjourned.